Organizations bring in their cash when you purchase products or administrations from them. So it shouldn't come as an unexpected that they put a ton of exertion and thought into ensuring that you really purchase whatever it is that they are selling, and numerous organizations have many deceives up their sleeves to achieve this. These stunts include bunches of brain science and science. On the off chance that it is anything but a stretch to state that organizations are hacking our cerebrums and practices to get more cash flow. What's more, these strategies are regularly so inconspicuous that we don't understand what's being done, in any event, when the proof is on display. 10. Casinos. Club utilize a blend of brain research and science to make you continue betting. This implies they give close consideration to all that they have inside their premises, from the plan of their tables to the lights they use and even the structures of their carpets. Casinos do whatever it takes not to fuse an excessive number of 90-degree turns in their insides. Right edge goes will in general make individuals all the more vigorously use the pieces of their cerebrum liable for dynamic, which gambling clubs don't need. So they have their walkways quietly bend toward where they need you to go. Slot machines are additionally modified to guarantee that the gambling clubs consistently win at long last. This shouldn't be an astonishment, taking into account that nowadays, gambling clubs rely upon gaming machines for up to 85% of their income. Of course, gambling clubs permit players to win the big stake every so often, just to keep them playing. Players can likewise win back piece of their cash. Let's assume they win $25 when they played with $50. That is actually a $25 misfortune, yet the players will frequently think of it as a win. Slot machines are additionally intended to make the player lose. The seats are entirely agreeable, and a few machines are even secured to permit the most extreme protection for the player. There are likewise ATMs to guarantee that players never come up short on money. However, gambling machines can immediately become baffling when a player piles on a non-stop losing streak. The club have that secured, as well. They simply offer the player a free breakfast for the misfortune. Gambling club administrators even have plans to program machines to consequently permit washouts to win some cash in the event that they've lost for a long streak, just to shield them from surrendering. 9. Gyms. Americans spend a great deal on rec center participations, more than what they spend to go to school. By and large, go through $155 every month on wellness. For this situation, wellness incorporates sound nourishments, supplements, workout clothes, and the exercise center participation itself. In light of current circumstances, the normal American will burn through $112,000 on wellness during their lifetime. For examination, the normal American advanced degree costs a sum of $98,440. However, the US, despite everything, has a heftiness problem. Quite a couple of individuals who pay for an exercise center participation will never visit the rec center. That ought to be awful for the exercise centers, isn't that so? Wrong. Truth be told, they love it that way. Gyms have higher running costs when you really work out. Their hardware additionally destroys quicker and requires substitution sooner. Interestingly, most exercise centers likewise trust you never become fit on the grounds that your craving to improve is the thing that makes you continue paying for participation. It's little miracle most exercise centers are oversubscribed. For example, Planet Fitness has a normal of 7,250 individuals at every exercise center, despite the fact that they can't contain in excess of 300 individuals at one time. These days, they even utilize a few stunts to demoralize you from coming over. At the point when you do, they have different stunts to prevent you from turning out to be sufficiently hard. Planet Fitness has alarms that go off when you turn out to be excessively hard, the alleged goofball alarm, which is strange, taking into account that is the reason you are in the exercise center in any case. Apparently, this is on the grounds that Planet Fitness is promoted as a without judgment zone, implied for amateurs and not shouting muscle heads. Unexpectedly, learners are more averse to stay with an exercise program. However, Planet Fitness low month-to-month participation paces of $10 to $20 don't generally feel like a major waste to the individuals who don't really go to the rec center that much. Planet Fitness additionally puts their free loads in remote corners, intended to emulate unwinding regions and not a rec center. They don't disregard you when you figure out how to get fit, either. They consistently sort out gatherings where they share not exactly sound nourishments like pizza, bagels, and Tootsie Rolls, to make sure you'll recover that fat you lost and keep up your enrollment. 8. Restaurants. Have you at any point felt overpowered subsequent to perusing a cafe's menu? Congrats, you're another casualty of one of the naming brain research hacks utilized by restaurants. One stunt includes the utilization of expound expressing like, delicate, succulent, and doused in a delightful, tart sauce to portray an ordinary chicken feast, or, sweet and smooth for their frozen yogurt. They could likewise depict their dishes in peculiar, superfluous ways, such as calling a beetroot. Beetroot has neither rhyme nor reason in light of the fact that a beet is a root. It resembles calling hamburger meat. Restaurants could likewise add some outside words to play with your head. This is apparent in menu things like Italian shrimp scampi tagliatelle, which really signifies noodles with shrimp drenched in margarine. In English, some cafes additionally pressure you into purchasing things by summoning your grandmother, despite the fact that she didn't have anything to do with grandmother's new natively constructed chocolate treats. If these stunts weren't sufficient, eateries will likewise utilize small and capricious textual styles to make their menus hard to read. On the cash side of things, numerous cafes abstain from utilizing dollar signs in their costs since they would prefer not to advise you that those figures signify the cash you need to pay. They additionally incline toward keeping costs in portions like 9.85 rather than 10, 9.99, or even 9.95. Restaurants likewise sagaciously mastermind their menus with the goal that costly things will appear to be modest. For instance, a $20 thing looks extravagant when you contrast it with a $10 thing. In any case, that $20 thing begins to appear to be modest when a third food thing costing $30 is included and gets a lot less expensive when a fourth $50 thing is included. 7. Social media. Internet-based life destinations, particularly Facebook and Instagram, have been accepting some negative press recently. They are addictive and have been accused for a bunch of horrible medical issues. Why would that be so? Here's reality: Facebook and Instagram are addictive on the grounds that they were intentionally intended to be. Indeed, Facebook utilizes a huge number of PC researchers and specialists to grow better approaches for making their items addicting. One is the formation of the like button. Another is the notorious interminable parchment. The vast parchment implies you don't have to click a next or numbered catch to visit the following page, as you will regularly do with different sites. Rather, progressively content consequently stacks as you draw nearer to the base, and it continues endlessly. You never arrive at the finish of the page and simply continue looking over down. At this point, you may be figuring, for what reason does Facebook do this? It's allowed to utilize, right? Well, you don't have to pay Facebook a dime since promoters are doing that as of now. You're just required to be online for whatever length of time that conceivable to see those advertisements. 6. Supermarkets. Grocery stores have part of stunts to get you to go through more cash. The entire thing begins directly from the passages, which are frequently loaded up with brilliant blossoms and new ranch produce. The calming view loosens up your mindset, which makes you additionally ready to leave behind some bucks. Your noses aren't saved, either. They're regularly rewarded to the smell of newly cooked chicken or prepared bread. Your ears are likewise rewarded to some slow music that makes you loose. Loosened up individuals walk all the more gradually and invest more energy gazing at things. The more you gaze, the almost certain you are to purchase things you did exclude from your budget. Supermarkets likewise mastermind their products on racks utilizing what is known as a planogram. This is fundamentally a technique for masterminding things on the racks so as to augment sales. Items kept at eye level or legitimately beneath it are regularly the most costly. They are likewise the ones you see first. The less expensive and increasingly valuable things are kept higher up or drop down on the racks. Things put toward the start of the walkway are additionally regularly less expensive than those in the center. 5. Apple stores. Apple structures its stores with the goal that you can begin to test its items the second you stroll through the entryway. The product is conveniently organized in engaging, prepared-to-contact positions. MacBooks are even raised a piece so you can see the console and screen at the equivalent time. Everything is associated with the internet, which you can utilize for nothing out of pocket. You can likewise utilize the devices for whatever length of time that you need without the store representatives ever meddling. Apple does this since it accepts individuals are bound to purchase a thing the more they collaborate with it. Apple likewise guarantees that you have a consistent shopping experience by giving loads of free space, with no diverting flags or notices. It additionally keeps the wiring and links out of view. 4. Amazon. Yet it knows how to get some additional jettisons your charge cards. One is with its one-click requesting, which it really has a patent on. While one-click requesting makes shopping consistent, it likewise makes you purchase without pondering the cost. A single tick ends everything over. Amazon's site and application utilize incredible calculations that will consistently suggest items you could be keen on. That is the reason you generally observe those much of the time bought together, and clients who bought this item also bought areas. Those two expressions may appear to be harmless, yet they represent 35% of the cash Amazon makes. Another thing Amazon does well is upselling. One is with the free motion pictures it offers you when you pay for a Prime participation. Amazon will regularly propose some different movies you could lease or purchase when you are finished watching those free movies. Speaking of Prime, that is another significant cash spinner for Amazon. Amazon clearly brings in cash when you pay for Prime enrollment, however that is only the start. Having a Prime participation makes you bound to do pretty much the entirety of your shopping on Amazon, which implies more cash for Amazon. The normal Prime part purchases $1,500 worth of things a year, which is well over the $625 spent by customary shoppers. Amazon additionally gets more cash flow off non-Prime individuals when they purchase more things so as to spend enough to be qualified with the expectation of complimentary delivery. Furthermore, shouldn't something be said about those Prime days and lightning deals? There's simply more endeavors to get you go through more cash flow and end up with things you likely needn't bother with. 3. Starbucks. Starbucks areas have loads of stunts up their sleeves to make you purchase more than what you came in for. Everything begins directly from the second you stroll in through the entryway, which unmistakably includes stickers and banners containing a few things on their menus. The banners are legitimately at your eye level, so you will see them. In the event that you oversee not to take a gander at those, they have more around the handle, which you are probably going to see. Starbucks areas are structured with the goal that you stroll past the seating region to arrive at the requesting counter at the back or, in case you're fortunate, the center of the store. This is done to ensure you look at a seat regardless of whether you never intended to sit. You're bound to go through more cash when you stay inside the store. The requesting counter is additionally structured with splendid lights and little space between the store representative and the client, just so things feel more close to home. The space between the requesting and pickup counters is likewise loaded up with heaps of advertisements to get you go through more cash flow. 2. McDonald's. McDonald's utilizes a few in-house stunts to attempt to isolate you from your cash. Like Starbucks, its entryways are covered with photos of its top-selling items, without the costs. Different banners inside the store additionally need costs in light of the fact that McDonald's needs you to consider the food rather than the money. The advanced menus at the counters are likewise customized to cause you to spend. McDonald's regularly includes liveliness that guide your focus toward new, progressively costly things it needs you to buy. Customers who favor solid suppers are not saved of the cheap food chain stunts, either. Individuals requesting something they feel is solid are less cautious about including some not exactly sound side dishes. They wind up stacking their bodies with a measure of calories they were presumably attempting to stay away from. 1. Walmart. Walmart may guarantee you low costs, yet they never vowed not to cause you to spend more than you intended to. First of all, Walmart, and, to be reasonable, numerous different organizations, utilizes costs with decimals, as $4.93, in light of the fact that we will in general spotlight on the primary number when we see a cost. Individuals will subliminally consider a thing worth $4.93 to be nearer to $4 than $5. Like numerous retailers, Walmart has huge shopping baskets by its entryways, just to prime your psyche for the heaps of things you'll be purchasing regardless of whether you didn't plan to. It likewise plays moderate music to cause you to unwind and invest more energy in the store. Furthermore, Walmart utilizes huge, striking ordinary low prices signage essentially all over the place, advising you that they sell their stuff for not exactly competitors. Then there are the modest rollback things, which are modest in light of the fact that they were overloaded. Be that as it may, you get them at any rate, regardless of whether you needn't bother with them, since you don't have the foggiest idea when they'll return to their standard costs. Toward the finish of your shopping trip, you're left with bunches of modest items you don't require and a shockingly weighty aggregate on the receipt. We're at the end of this video. If you like the video, don't forget to comment, like the video and subscribe to the channel.